So you're thinking about making the move to Sacramento and you need to sell your home first before you buy your new home. So you're thinking to yourself, does it make sense to buy a home November, December, January? For me, we've had really good luck with clients looking to find amazing houses. Sellers seem to be a little bit more desperate. New homes are getting great incentives. It's a perfect scenario to buy a home. Yes, albeit let's just talk about the interest rates. Normally with new homes, you can get great buy downs. With the houses that are currently on the market, if they've been on the market for a while and they're not moving, you can always negotiate a seller credit to help you buy down your rate as well too. Okay, so on the buy side, that's one thing. Now let's talk about the sell side. Now, normally, if you are trying to sell your house in November, December, and January, it is a harder time of the year to sell. Holidays, weather, and people are just kind of like just not really interested in doing real estate business. That's just the kind of way it goes. Now, if you have a house that's maybe the unicorn that is in a neighborhood that's highly desirable and everything too, you might be able to move it pretty quick with aggressive pricing. But for the most part, during this time of the year, it's when realtors actually go on vacation to Cabo San Lucas and they close up shop. And this is just kind of the way it is. So if you're trying to make that move, if you're trying to sell and then you're trying to buy, what should you do, right? On one side, buying makes a whole lot of sense with all the incentives and all of a sudden like lower demand and everything too. But on the sell side, you're thinking to yourself, you know what? It just might not make sense to sell my house. And a lot of people are telling me to list it during spring. We're going to talk a little bit about this. We're going to talk about the pros and cons to selling and buying during this time of the year and what you need to know about. Let's get into the show right now. All right. Hopefully you guys are having a good evening. All right, let's talk about this. I've been talking to a lot of clients. I'm getting hit at least twice a week talking about, should I sell now? Should I buy now? What does that look like? A lot of people are doing contingencies. A lot of people are wondering if this makes sense right now. It's tough. Is it like the best time to sell your house? Is it like amazing? I mean, I think it's kind of one of those common sense things where it's not really, right? We've had we've had like low demand this year and we're moving into like the rainy season, cold weather. You got Thanksgiving, you got all the holidays and everything too. So it is a little harder. Photos as far as selling your home, getting it ready, open houses. And then you got people tracking in like, rain and all that stuff, right? And then you also got like flu season and everything too. So it's one of those things where a lot of people who are looking to sell their home, it's just not as easy of a thing to do as it is. Is it impossible? It's definitely not impossible, right? I mean, we've done it. We've sold houses during the season. It's not really ideal. And if you guys have been one of those people who reached out to us and we talked, the first question I ask anyone is, do you need to sell at this moment? Interest rates are kind of creeping back up a little bit as well too. And this year has been a low demand. It's just the way it is, right? Now, like I mentioned before in the intro video, like unless you have a unicorn house, unless you have that house that is in, an area where you see everything flying off the shelf. And if you are like thinking to yourself, I just need to get rid of this thing and I just want to go super low, aggressive pricing, let's go. What you're seeing right now too is people want turnkey. They want turnkey. They're not looking for fixers and everything too, for the most part. I mean, certainly there's some that are, but for the most part, people are looking for turnkey. So it's a hard thing to sell. Now, I get a lot of people saying, oh, these listing agents have been calling me up saying, oh, I can sell your house, not even a problem. Now, here's what I'll say to you guys, just to vet the listing agent that's calling you at dinner time and asking you to list your home. Tell them this, okay, if you want to sell my home, let's do a 3-month listing agreement. And after the 3 months is over, we're going to pause for a little bit. And at that moment, I want to interview other realtors for spring. See, here's a trick, right? Let's say you sign a listing agreement right now to basically for a listing agent who's telling you I can sell during, winter season, fall season, whatever. We're talking like what, November? Your listing agreements usually are about 6 months. So you're talking about November, December, January, February, and then all of a sudden we're kind of into spring, right? So if the listing kind of sits during wintertime and it goes a little slow, then all of a sudden they still have the listing for spring. And in spring, historically, everything kind of picks up and they're good to go. So I would just say for you, all right, we got one, boom. Listing agents calling you at dinner time is so accurate. Oh yeah. Seriously, the funniest part about this is like there are some shops in Sacramento, and there's nothing against it. People are trying to hustle and make their money. I get it, but I mean, they do pizza parties and they're all calling and they're doing that stuff, and it's crazy. But for me, we've been talking to people. We get a lot of people reaching out, listing houses, and we're like, it's been a slower year, and if you're sitting on a low interest rate and you don't really need to move this second. you're not seeing all that amazing inventory to jump in to buy as well either. But for the most part, like, what does that look like to you? People don't realize too, people look at history on Zillow as well too. So if you list your house during wintertime, and you're not really doing aggressive pricing, and then all of a sudden you list it in spring, new photos and everything too, people can see all that stuff too. And it's like a job interview. You only get one chance for a first impression. So just kind of be cognizant of that, Now, if you have to sell your house and you just have to sell your house, I would say things you need to do. One is aggressive pricing. Number two is just look for listing agents that don't have a huge holiday, vacations planned, right? Because a lot of us have, a lot of listing agents I know and realtors in general have, this time as their downtime. And so they're out on vacation. So just get a little bit of a schedule and say, do you have any, what's going to happen for you during the holiday season, everything to get that kind of stuff going, and vet them. But I would say right now, if you are hiring someone to sell your house during winter and you're kind of on the fence between spring and, and winter, or, what is it, fall still, I would say sign them to a 3-month listing agreement. I think 6 months also is a little excessive, but I say 3 months. And then just say, look, here's the thing. If you really believe you can sell it in 3 months, great, but I'll give you 3 months. You got it for what? November, December, and January, if you think you can do it. But after that, I'm going to be interviewing other listing agents as well. And I'm probably going to prime it up and ready for spring if you have to. Now, for me, like I said, we've been getting calls from Roseville, Rancho, all sorts of areas too. And the main thing is we just need to evaluate the house and give you the pros and cons if it makes sense or not. But a lot of people, I really do think if you're sitting on a 2.75, if you're like itching to make the move, the only big push that I would see to kind of make that happen is that we are seeing a lot of great incentives in the new home communities. I think that if you are seeing, and you're not that picky, right, and you're seeing stuff in the resale market sit on the market, I do think you can get deals right now too. So I think, as far as the buy side goes, I love this time of year, like November, December, January. Let's get the umbrellas. Let's get the galoshes on if anyone still has galoshes, and let's go out to the rain. We've worked with a lot of people, buyers specifically, that have gotten fantastic deals with the new homes. You guys have seen the videos I've been dropping. It's not just Toll Brothers, it's Taylor, it's Lennar, it's everyone underneath the sun. This is the time that they are, in new home land. They're actually giving you some amazing deals, and there's a lot of competition in these areas as well too. So you're gonna get a deal, relative, of course. A deal is a deal for that person who's looking for a certain thing. But on the buy side, I love this time of the year. I think once spring picks up, if interest rates dip a little bit, I think we could have a better year next year than we had this year. And that's just something to be a little wary about. Now, that's no guarantee. Interest rates could go up to 7s. Who knows? And all of a sudden, we're going to have a worse year. There's no guarantees in real estate. And it's almost kind of a weird form of legalized gambling at times, if you're looking at it that way. But I would say, as far as the buying and the selling, it's a tough one in this market. It's a tough one during this time of the year. And like I said, if you're getting those 5 o'clock calls from listing agents, challenge them. Say, look, I'll give you a 3-month listing agreement, but after that, I get the right to interview listing agents after that, for spring, and see what they say. But I love that. I love that idea of give it to them during the cold months. If they really think they could sell it, let's go. The other thing too is aggressive pricing is going to win out the day. I've seen some houses, like for example, there's one house in El Dorado Hills. I went to the open house last weekend. It was like an event. There were people going in and out of that house. It was a single story house, gorgeous views and everything too. It was crazy. There was like cello music playing. There was like a whole charcuterie, all that stuff too. And that was like nonstop. But also the house is priced like $60,000 below what its CMA value was too. So if you go aggressive pricing, I think that that's the best way to go. Now, my thought was, and I was talking to one of our amazing clients, is that I was like, it's listed below, but it's probably going to go 100 over. So that I see normally as being a good way to kind of do it if you're going to sell your home. But if you're selling right now and you're thinking to yourself, unless you have that unicorn house, and how do you tell if you have that unicorn house? Let's dive into that for a second. It's usually just based on, if you look at a 1/4 mile radius, things that are kind of like your floor plan, your bedrooms and bath count in your area, how fast they're moving, the price point, price per square foot, high and low, and all that stuff too. If you can see it and you can kind of say, okay, look, in the last 3 months, 2 houses just like ours went on the market for what we're looking to get, and they actually went over. That's a unicorn house. So that's kind of what I'm talking about. But for the most part right now, just on the sell side, Common sense will dictate weather, flu season, kids getting out of school, vacations. It's just not the primo time to kind of sell your home, and especially if you got a pool. Now, like I said, on the buy side, you got some deals. In fact, Alana is going to tell us a little bit about one of those deals.
Hey guys, it's Alana. We're here in Roseville, California for your new home deal of the week. So this house right behind me here is in a no HOA community, and it's a 5-bedroom, 3.5 bathroom home on a huge lot. It's one of the biggest in this community actually, and they dropped the price over $50,000. So if you guys have any questions, reach out and we would be happy to show you this one. And if this isn't your cup of tea, there's actually a ton of other move-in ready homes that they're trying to get homeowners in. So if you have any questions, reach out.
All right, so that's one of the deals that we're seeing out there. Areas like West Roseville, you're seeing some good deals, great incentives. JMC has their stuff going on there too. They got more building, but gorgeous communities out there. Rancho's super competitive right now too. Elk Grove is getting there as well too. Then you have kind of outliers where you got like stuff in Vacaville, stuff in like Linda, Plumas Lake, and everything too. So there's a lot of stuff happening right now. I would say for new homes, it's a great time. But again, it's relative. I mean, deals are all very subjective to whoever's looking. So just be cognizant of that. Now let's talk a little bit if you are adamant on buying and selling, and this is your time and you're seeing deals and you want to jump in. There's kind of two ways to go about this, right? There's a contingency deal, or is what I call the rent back deal. Contingency basically means that, I need to sell my house before I your house is, how can I say this? Like your house is ready to kind of go. And this is how we do it. We get a house, photos, videos ready to go, and we don't put it live on the MLS until the person finds the house that they're looking for. Then once they find the house that they're looking for, then we throw it on the MLS, and it's a contingency deal, which means that that thing needs to sell in order for you to actually buy the house. Now with the contingency deals, there's ways to put in place where you don't lose your earnest money deposit as well too. Now contingency deal normally in a kind of like a buy or in a seller's market, it's a hard one to do. But because demand is seasonally low and this year has not been fantastic, and you're seeing a lot of days on market increase, or the days on market is increasing in the area, it's not really that hard to get done. I mean, even with the new homes as well too, if you have a house to sell and it's ready to go, you got the photos, listing agreement and everything too, it is really not that hard to do in this current market. What that normally means is in a real estate transaction, there are like, your appraisal contingencies, loan contingency, inspection contingency. So you just add another one, a fourth amigo, and you just need to have all those things checked off for the most part, or you lose your EMD. So this is kind of what I'm seeing. Contingency deals in this market are somewhat, they're not hard to do, right? Now, unless you're going up against like a unicorn house, like for example, like let's say on Friday, that house popped on the market that you guys have been looking for, and it is amazing. It is in Folsom. It is a 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath house, or 3.5 bath house, and it is amazing, right? You're saying to yourself, that's the house we want. Well, Folsom's very competitive, high demand area. So what you're going to notice is the fact that there could be additional offers. Now, if there are additional offers and the house just hit the market, contingencies aren't going to be something that, even though low demand, it's not going to be something that the agent's going to look at right away. They really don't want to deal with that fourth amigo. So what they want is cash offers. They want like people coming in with good deposit or good down payments and everything too, and good financing. The contingency of selling your home, and that has to be done before you close, they don't really like that. Now, once you get past maybe the 2-week mark, maybe you could jump into a 3-week, all of a sudden contingency offers are good to go. And all of a sudden you have a little bit more leverage as well too. Now, let's say you're running a contingency and you found a house that is going on the market and just went on the market on Friday, and you want to put an offer in. Normally what we do, and we comp out the area, see how attractive that house is going to be, gauge the open houses, see the Zillow saves, all that stuff too. We'll maybe make an assessment that you need to go a little higher than list. So contingency deal works in that kind of fashion. It just gives you a little bit more security if you're going to be buying a house. And what we encourage is also getting the listing agreement done, photos and videos and everything ready to go. Because how it works is that you call up the listing agent of the house that you want, and they're going to ask us, the first thing they're going to say is the house listed? And you're going to say, no, but it's coming to the market on Friday. Now, if it is listed, you're in way better shape. Competitive pricing, good marketing analysis and everything too. Part of the contingency offer is that you need to basically show the listing agent who will show the seller that your house selling is as good as gold. If you can do that and you can convey that well, if your listing agent can convey, or your buyer's agent can convey that properly, you have a good chance in getting your contingency offer accepted. Now, for example, if your house has no photos, no videos, no listing agreement, it's harder because all of a sudden the listing agent's like, well, your house isn't on the market. It's not ready to go. Yeah, we have a CMA, but I don't really, I'm not seeing pricing or anything too. It's a harder sell. So for you, if you guys are thinking about doing a contingency offer, getting that thing as far along in the process is great. Now for our clients, a lot of them are like, really, really selective on their homes. And so what we like to do is get the photos ready, listing agreement ready, and everything ready to go so that when they find the house and we make the offer, we can actually submit the listing agreement, marketing, CMA, and everything too. So it's easier to tell the listing agent, we're ready to go. We've been just waiting for that right house. So that's how a contingency offer works. And a lot of people, it really works really well for them. But like I said, you got to be very selective on the house you're going up against. If it's a competitive house, if it's a competitive area, they might not even look at a contingency offer. Now, another way to go about it is the rent back. What that means is if you are selling your home, okay, and you put in the contract that number one, well, we're not going to sell our home unless we find something that we like. That's one way of doing it. And normally a seller or a buyer normally in this market will not go for it. So you put in a little bit of a gap where you say, okay, we need a 2-month rent back. So you close the deal and then you have kind of 2 months to kind of, to get out of the house. It's a little dangerous and I wouldn't really recommend that too much. I'd rather go the contingency deal. But a lot of times, that's for clients who are looking for new homes. They aren't that picky and they feel a little comfortable about that situation. I definitely wouldn't suggest that for kids or people like, that just, it's a little more stressful and it's no guarantee that you're going to find the house you like. So if I was looking at both case scenarios, unless, for example, like, maybe you can deal with a hotel if worse comes to worse. I love the contingency offer, and especially in this market. Like I said, buyer demand's been low this year, and I think contingencies can definitely work. If you guys have questions also about contingency offers, rent backs, or the safest way to do this, reach out to me and we can go over that. We've done a lot of them because what we do for the most part, we do a lot of relocations. And so a lot of people need to sell their houses in like Denver, and then they need to make the move here. So part of that entails them coming out here, looking at the areas, getting educated and everything too. It's a little bit more tricky. So we know contingencies really, really well. And if you're interested in that, let me know. So that's it. All right. All right. Hey, Mark, any tips or wisdom, pros and cons about buying in an over 55 HOA community? Oof. Okay. So there's some nice ones. I mean, and they're technically called active communities. There are some really, really nice ones. You can go a little bougie on them. For example, I've had a client who said, you know what, we're going with Taylor Morrison Turkey Creek because they have pool service. So I would say, number one, facilities. I would say whatever kind of works for you. Like the Regency one is really popular by Toll Brothers. I know that people like the Lennar community, although the facilities aren't as nice. There's a new one popping up at Cahov and Rancho that you can get something in the 400s, which people are loving. Then at Bickford, there's a shade community. So the special assessments are a little higher in that one too, but everything's going to be new. They're building the clubhouse, building everything too. The only negative I would say about the active communities is they are harder to resell. I've seen a lot of stuff in like Sun City. I've seen a lot of stuff that like has been sitting in the active communities. So just understand that, if you are buying in an active community, it could be a little harder of a sell because there's more guidelines, right? You have to be over 55 and all that stuff too. That's one thing to keep in mind. That would be the biggest thing too. I mean, other than that, I would also see about HOAs if they plan on increasing it or decreasing it. Like Toll Brothers Regency right now, I know that they're going to be building a whole lot more houses. So I would actually ask them, okay, so like you guys are building so many more houses. Is this clubhouse going to be for everyone? Or are you building an additional clubhouse? How many more people are going to be moving into this area? And also realize this, that for example, like let's say you buy somewhere like a Toll Brothers Regency or like a Taylor Morrison Turkey Creek or even Shea, right? And you say to yourself, we're going to buy there. We're going to test out the area, see if we like it. Okay. 3 years down the road, you go to sell your home. You're going to be competing against Toll Brothers or Shea or whoever, whichever community, because they're still going to be building in that area. So just understand that. active community homes are definitely a little harder to sell than your regular homes in the area. So it's just something to keep in mind. For me, though, I love the new ones. I gotta say straight up. I mean, Regency, Toll Brothers, what they got pickleball, bocce, they got like indoor swimming pools, outdoor swimming pools. They got areas to watch like the game and everything too. Turkey Creek's awesome too. K Hobbs is gonna be great. Shea is gonna be great. I think they really with the newer communities, they just stepped it up. I mean, if it was me and I was looking for active communities, here would be my roadmap. I'd go to Taylor Morrison, Turkey Creek. I'd probably go over to Shea and see what they got cooking. Then I'd go Toll Brothers Regency, and then I'd check out K-Hov and Rancho as well too. Those would be the 4 ones that I've heard the facilities, the pool, everything is just going to be outrageous. So those are be the 4 ones I'd look at. But again, like I said, the pros and cons of it. The pros, they're all single story. They've got tons of floor plans for you. You're going to absolutely like find what you're looking for. They're not going to give you too much of a backyard because it's more of like a social environment. I kind of call them like cruise ships on land. They're fun. But at the end of the day, if you plan on being there for like 3 to 4 years, and you're in one of those communities that's going to be still building at that time, you're going to compete against the builder for the most part. And the builders are going to have those incentives, and it could be hard to get rid of the house. Now, another thing too, is I've gotten a lot of people who've reached out to me, listing agents who've been listing like at other communities like Heritage, Sun City, and it's not as easy to get rid of those houses as well too. So it's just a little bit harder of a sell. So hopefully that helps. But like I said, active communities are big business here in Sacramento, and they're just getting more popular and more popular. It's just another level right now. Okay. So getting back to the buy and sell, and I'll just sum this up real quick. I'm sure you guys have already heard me, so I'll circle a little bit or reiterate a little bit. I would say if you're looking to sell your home, November, December, and January, maybe even a little bit of February, it's a little tougher. I'd say if you got a listing agent calling you at 5 o'clock, like I mentioned, dinner time, sign them to a 3-month listing agreement. And then be aware that if it doesn't go, you have to put it back up on it probably in springtime. People are going to see that you listed it during wintertime. Now, if you're adamant, I got to sell this thing, just do aggressive pricing, great photos, vet your listing agent, make sure they're not going on vacation. And that'd be that, and if you guys want additional insight or tips, feel free to reach out to me. I'm not going on any type of vacations. I'm having Thanksgiving here, and I'm doing Christmas here, and I got New Year's here as well too. I have no life, guys, except for the show. That's why I'm always here Wednesday. So if you do want to get a second opinion on listing your home, even if it's not with us, give us a call. One more thing too. Understand that even though for a listing agent, even though, there's a lot of people that are moving around Sacramento. A lot of people in Sacramento have 2.75s. A lot of people aren't really looking to kind of make the jump to another house. It's really important that you have a realtor that has some kind of social reach to the Bay Area, like an Instagram, TikTok. They just do a lot of business in the Bay Area, and they're legit, right? You can see their analytics. And one thing that's never really talked about with realtors is what a lot of people on social media coin social signals. What that means is how many subscribers you have on YouTube, how many subscribers you have on Instagram, on TikTok, and all that stuff too, and where they actually live and where that looks like. Because for me, if I'm selling my home in Sacramento and I got my neighborhood specialist who knows where all the ice cream shops are, I think that's great. But the people actually need to pick up the phone and call that realtor. They actually have to come out here too. And what we've been seeing is that the realtors that have good social signals, good Instagram, good TikToks, good YouTubes, tend to get a lot of that Bay Area traffic. A lot of people don't really realize what you can get in Sacramento when you got these realtors doing house tours, when you got them showcasing all these homes. A lot of people in the Bay Area, there's a big like light bulb that goes off and goes, wow, I just did not know that was Sacramento. I didn't realize that that's what I could get there. I'm going to reach out. So I think it's not a guarantee, but it is definitely another added piece of marketing that you should be aware of. And you're going to get the song and dance from a lot of realtors that don't really know social media or, marketing. They're going to say, no, our brokerage is the best. Our brokerage has the best marketing. They can't show you proof of that. They'll tell you it and they'll like talk a good game, but there's just no analytics behind it. So make sure if they talk about how their brokerage is the best, how their marketing is amazing, they actually show you a little analytics behind it as well too. I see a lot of realtors throwing out a lot of smoke and mirrors saying, oh, I can do this. and they have zero clue about their analytics, what DMA stuff is going to, where their social media is going to. And you really need that in order to know exactly like what you're hiring a realtor to do and like their social reach. So, okay, that's it. And that's kind of my buy and sell thing. So let's go into it a little bit more. Let's see how the market is doing. And if you guys have any questions, like I said, feel free to call me. My number is on the banner above. And here's my number just in case you guys don't have it. Boom. Like I said, I always say, like I said, too much, and I'm going to stop that. That's going to be my New Year's resolution. But if you guys want to just talk real estate, if you have questions about Sacramento, if you are working with someone else, I would say talk to them first. But at the same time, if you need anything, just let me know. I am always happy to talk to real estate. In fact, I do this pretty much 24/7, and I'd be okay just hearing what you have to say, even if we don't work together. All right, let's get into it. Boom, buying and selling. All right, so here's what we're seeing in interest rates. Boom. Now, I'm not saying you can get a 6 point something or another. It depends on credit, down payment, and program, but interest rates are increasing. Yeah, so kind of called that a little while ago. Not happy about it, but I kind of figured we'd be around that time. And that's kind of what we're seeing right now. Interest rates are just increasing a little bit. Do I think they're going to be increasing or plateauing around 6.5-ish? Probably. I just don't see a whole lot of movement, so just if someone's waiting for us to get sub sixes, I just don't see that happening towards the end of this year. I mean, I could be wrong. I'm not a lender, but this is kind of what I'm seeing. All right. What's up, Mark? Starting to watch you about 6 months ago, going to text you about coming over to talk about selling my house in Curtis Park. Thanks for the great show and keep dropping knowledge. Hey, my pleasure. I love Curtis Park. Curtis Park is so cute. Curtis Park is interesting. It is such a cute little area. Everyone's so focused. When they think of Sacramento, everyone thinks of like Land Park in East Sacramento. Curtis Park, there's not a lot of houses. They're cute houses, and they're in the middle of everything. I love Curtis Park. So yeah, hit me up. And let's get into it. And also, guys, if you are in Sacramento, you're noticing that we are into our rainy season, and it is a little cooler. I would say for all those people who were thinking that Sacramento was 120 degrees all year long, come and take a trip to Sacramento. In fact, I'm planning my first snowboard trip up to Sugar Bowl, probably within the next couple weeks with my daughter. So I'm super excited about that. Okay, let's jump into some fun Q&A. All right, pros and cons of buying a home in Sacramento right now. I have a 2.65. Ooh, you are lucky and now need a bigger home. Yeah, that's a tough one because I didn't buy big enough. Although there was almost nothing available at the time compared to now, and I didn't know the area really well. All right, now I'm looking at a newer development for possibly fall winter 2026 move, and I'm super frustrated about the high interest rates plus Melrose. Hopefully things look better by late next year. Here's what I'll tell you. One is it's hard to gauge the market, how it's going to be, like next year. But let's say, for example, you're buying right now. I would say that yes, you're not going to see a 2.65 probably anytime soon. I wish, but at the same time, I think if we did that again, it would even mess up the market even more long term. In fact, I think we're seeing the effects still of that 2.75 or 2.65, bond buying that we did back then. So I don't see that happening. Now, if let's say, for example, next year, the market mimics this year, you're very interest rate conscious, you could do a buy down, right? That's one option. I know it's not fantastic. A lot of people are like, well, if I do a buy down, what happens if next year rates drop? Yeah, I get it. Catch 22. Now, if you are looking for new homes, man, like Alana's video over there too, you can get something in the fours. I mean, there's some crazy stuff right now in the new home. So I would say, depending if you like new homes, you might be able to get a low rate. If you like resale, you have the option of buying down your rate. It's not the silver bullet for this market in any shape or form, but if the market holds to what it's like now, next year, that's probably what you're looking at. And hopefully rates do get better. I just don't know how long they can keep around 6.5, 7. I think something's got to give eventually, because with rates being what they were all this year, our market just did not do great. No one's market did. Sacramento is growing and going and everything too, but we're plateauing right now too. Other markets like Houston or Dallas are going down, but for us, yeah, hopefully next year's a little bit better. Hopefully we get I think if we get into the fives, we'll see a lot of movement too. I just don't know if we're going to get there. So hopefully we do. What do you guys think? Do you think 2026 we're going to see rates drop? Do you think in 2026 we're going to see prices drop? Let me know what you guys think in the comments. All right. Sacramento's hottest deal, price drop. Yeah. Bought our home 2008, 5-bedroom, 3-bath, 3,000 square feet, 2-story, 350. Oof, those are the days. 2.75, not moving. These prices are insane. One of the things that I will say about working in the Sacramento area and selling to some, we sell relocation, but we also work with people who live in the area. It's hard. I mean, everything I would say within the last 4 or 5 years, maybe bumped up like $200,000. It's a hard thing. I mean, maybe like 8 years ago, I was selling houses, 4-bedroom, 2 baths for like 350, some even 299, and they're really nice houses. Everything is just increased at a crazy rate. And I get it, it's nationwide, right? But it's a hard pill to swallow. A lot of people in Sacramento are like, let's say you live in Fair Oaks and you see a house that's selling for 700. In the back of your mind, you're going, man, I remember when those people bought the house for 350, and right there, it's a hard pill to swallow. Then you add like mortgage interest rates on top of that. Oh, it's hard. It's really, really hard. If you have that mindset, it's going to be hard for you to buy anything. It's just a hard one, right? I will say this right now, though. If you have a house still that you had maybe since 2008, I mean, let's say you bought your house for 350. I'm guessing you probably sell that thing for like over 700. And that's my one like silver lining, I guess you can say. You can still, you probably sell your house for a pretty penny. All right. What state wins? Texas versus California. I love skiing, so California for me. I can do Tahoe and ski during winter. Texas doesn't have something that is adjacent to my lifestyle and hobbies. I'm with you. California, 100%. There is no way I'd go to Texas unless I was layover. But yeah, just California. Love myself, my California. All right. Would you move to Sacramento in 2025? I've lived here most of my life. It used to be great. Now, too much traffic, too many people, thousands of home developments, strip malls, and we were invaded by different Bay areas. It's gone to hell. Can't wait to leave. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. And this is just goes to this, Sacramento was probably set to change a while ago as far as this growth, development, placement, job situation, state jobs and everything too. It's been a little bit of a secret, I guess you can call it in California, but the secret's out, it's changing. And, for me, I feel bad for people who feel like they have to leave the Sacramento area, but I will say that hopefully you find somewhere that you love, that you feel comfortable at as well too. But I don't think Sacramento is going to be slowing down anytime soon. I mean, with all the development we have going on here, with all the communities, Melrose, the new schools, Surf Park, Braden Project, the new stadiums coming in. I mean, we're on such a growth spurt and we're going like crazy. So if you want old Sacramento, I just think that time is long gone. And I think right now, we got a lot of people coming in from different areas, shaking up Sacramento a bit. And I think it's good. I think Sacramento right now, it's a fun place to live. And for me, I can't wait to see more restaurants. I can't wait for there to be like more things to do. And I'm excited. I think our future in Sacramento is really, really something that for me gets me excited. I love our location as well too. Tahoe's close by. You got the Bay Area close by. You got everything. I think Sacramento's been long overdue. And I think that for the most part, Sacramento, maybe 6, 7, 8 years ago, a lot of people just wrote off Sacramento. They're just like, Sacramento, hot, dry, flat. It's a place I stop by to get In-N-Out Burger on the way to Tahoe, and that's it. And I do think now, with everything going on with our sports scene, with all these YouTube videos a lot of people are dropping as well too, people are realizing how amazing of a place Sacramento is, how many different parts of Sacramento there are, how much you can get in Sacramento as well too, but also the lifestyle we have here. Great restaurants, great people, community vibe. I think we've got all that in Sacramento, and I think a lot of people are catching on to it. In fact, I'm always on the phone talking to people, and I'm telling them straight up, come out to Sacramento. Let me show you a little bit of Sacramento. And if you don't like it, I get it. And honestly, guys, it's been almost like 100%. People just love Sacramento, love what we have to offer, love the bang for your buck you can get here. But not only that, they love the trees, they love the trails, they love Folsom Lake, American River, Sacramento River, close to Tahoe, Apple Hill, I mean, they just love Sacramento, and we're going even in another direction where we're going to have all those great things, but we're also going to have additional schools. Hopefully, infrastructure, like I said, our Achilles heel right now in Sacramento, yes, is the traffic. Infrastructure would be fantastic, and public transportation. Those two things, if we could work on a little bit, we'll be in good shape. But I love Sacramento. I think we're on a fantastic path right now. And I think a lot of people, might be thinking Sacramento is unaffordable right now. Wait till you see Sacramento in about 5 years. I don't even think anyone's going to even mention affordability here. I think we're going to creep up there. We need a football team and buys the A's. Yeah, the only thing, I will tell you something. One is that would be amazing to get a football team in Sacramento. The Sacramento Kings, I can only see like that logo, those jerseys. That would be amazing. I kind of, the thing about the A's, I was all excited about the A's coming to Sacramento. But honestly, I just didn't feel like the A's really gave our city too much respect. It's almost like inviting someone into your house and they just don't like wipe their feet, before they come in, or, take their shoes off or something. And for me, I just felt a little, like, honestly, a little disrespected when the A's came in. I think they should have embraced Sacramento a little bit more. And I think maybe that was a problem with Oakland. So for me, I would love them to kind of switch it around a little bit, maybe do stuff for the community, maybe switch it up just a little bit. I know they're going to Vegas, but at the same time, I think it wasn't really something I expected. I was really excited about the A's coming in. So I don't know. But again, we got some amazing stuff. X Games coming next year as well too. So, but eventually it'd be cool to get a football team. It'd be great to get a legitimate Sacramento branded baseball team as well too. So yeah, I'm with you. I think Sacramento can do it. I think with all the houses, all the people we're moving in, I think, all the stadiums are putting in with all the schools and just the way Sacramento is going. I mean, why not, right? And not to mention another thing too about Sacramento, and this is huge. I don't know if there is a city that embraces sports as well as Sacramento. I know other places might say, yeah, we do. Like, here's the thing. The Sacramento Kings have never been like, like the Warriors, right? Or, like the Lakers, whatever. Like the Kings have had their, still got to do good in the playoffs, but we still love them. They're amazing. We support them 100%, win or lose. I mean, we give so much love to our sports team here in Sacramento that I would say bringing a professional baseball team that's legitimately Sacramento's or football team would be 100%. I think we'd sell that out straight up. All right. What do you guys think? Do you think Sacramento is due for a football team or their own baseball team? All right. Would you move to Sacramento in 2025? Would I? Sure. Will I? Probably not. Maybe 2026. I know, Kevin, we got to get you out here. So for me, this is kind of one of those things. I think a lot of people are waiting for that moment. I think interest rates, inventory, market, and finding the house that they want. I think those are the pain points for a lot of people right now too. But I do think talking to people on the phone, people are ready to make the move. They just need that right timing. Timing is huge. And if they can make the timing happen, then, all of a sudden they're in Sacramento. And Sacramento, as far as I'm concerned, will open you with welcome arms too. More people, the merrier. Okay, which state wins, Texas or California? I've lived in both. I've lived in both, and Texas is just better. The food, the people, and the land. Just, you have to spend a state that doesn't deliver anything great. Well, here's the thing for me. I'll say everyone deserves an opinion, but I mean, you're in Texas, enjoy Texas. And I wish you nothing but the best. And if you do live in California now and you're moving to Texas, we'd be more than happy to sell your home. So just throwing it out there. Went to Houston, moved back. I can't deal with Texans trying to be like California. Laugh out loud. Just grateful. The weather's better. All right. So for me, like I said, I love these type of polls because for me, I don't know. I think everyone deserves a good place to live. I think everyone should be happy. And I think if people don't like California, moving to another state that works for them, I think that that's fantastic. And again, if they're moving out of Sacramento, we'd be more than happy to sell your home. Okay. You can have the Atlanta Falcons. Falcons. That would be an interesting one. Ooh, I wouldn't mind that. All right. All right. By the way, Pamela, hopefully you're having a very nice evening. Okay. It would bring hella jobs and money to town. I think so. I think having more sports teams here, I think it would be fantastic. Um, I mean, with all the stuff they're doing at the rail yards, if we could put something together there, it'd be great. Not only that, bring in some more concerts and everything too, outdoor lifestyle. I am telling you guys, Sacramento is going to do some fun stuff. All right, next one. There's not a single thing that's better about Texas. Ask any Californian if they even think about Texas, and the answer is no. I gotta agree with both of you guys on that. I don't see the appeal, but then again, that's just me. All right, Zillow's changed the home price forecast. Thank you for highlighting areas, Mark. Yeah, no problem at all. I'm going to actually do, I have some statistics software that I'm going to be using also in future live broadcasts. So hopefully you guys are ready to learn a little bit more about our market. I haven't brought it out today, and I haven't brought it out in a while because honestly, the market's been just kind of flat. It hasn't really moved too much as, Powell, Fed, stocks and everything too. It's just kind of been the same old market for like the last month and a half. So, there hasn't really been a big jump either way. If you come out here, what are you going to find? You're going to find, if you're not too picky, you could find the inventory you're looking for that's been sitting on the market longer than usual. If you're selling your home, you're probably going to have to wait a little longer to find a buyer. You might even have to reduce the price a little bit or have aggressive pricing. It's just a kind of seasonality of the market. And like I said, if you guys are getting those 5 o'clock in the evening dinner calls from listing agents, tell them 3-month listing agreement. And if we don't sell in 3 months, let me talk to some other realtors. That would be me. All right, let's go to the next one. Sacramento's hottest deal. Price drop 200. That says a lot. If I was a neighbor and I purchased it overpriced, I would have been pissed off. That's all. Sell your property in fair market prices. You're ruining the economy. I'll tell you one thing, that I do think that there should be some sort of standard about that too. And I think it does say a lot. I know for a lot of builders right now, they're in a situation where inventory is just sitting and they have to do reductions. Now, I got a call actually after I did this video from Toll, and they basically said, hey, we reduced it, but it's basically we're giving away a lot of the things in the house. So it's not really a reduction. So Toll Brothers is pretty good about that. And I even talked to my buddy Joe, and I'm going to be dropping some more videos on Friday at Toll Brothers, and they have some amazing houses ready to go. A lot of their like reductions tend to be that, they built out a house and there are a lot of upgrades and finishes in these houses, and they're going to throw those in because not everybody wants like this type of like, panoramic sliders or whatnot. So that's what it is. All right. Live in Sacramento, pros and cons. Is there a music scene? Yeah, a little bit. I wouldn't say there's a huge music scene. And this is someone who like lived in San Francisco. Key fact about me, when I first got out of college, I actually helped book and manage John Lee Hooker, Robert Cray, Ben Harper as well too. So I know my music a little bit. And it's not like a San Francisco music scene where you're going to get a lot of places, a lot of like really, really fun music. You are going to see, and I will tell you this is the funny one. If you are someone like me who lived in the 80s, grew up in the 80s, you are going to see Richard Mark playing at Thunder Valley. You're going to see Motley Crue. You're going to see those type of bands here in Sacramento for sure. And they're fun. They're really relaxed venues and everything too. Golden One, now and again, you might see like Justin Timberlake or something like that. Those concerts definitely sell out really, really fast, but you're not going to see a lot of artists that you'd probably see in San Francisco or like in that area. But it's growing, it's developing. It'd be really, really nice to see some kind of cool, like, I don't know if you guys know the San Francisco area, like the Mission District or South of Market. They had all these cool clubs like Paradise Lounge and all that stuff too, where they brought in like people could like bring in bands and everything too. Hopefully they do a little bit more of that here. That would be fun. That would be interesting. Not like you'd ever see me there, but my kids, you'd probably see them there. All right. Browsing daily on Zillow, I see a lot of listings where the owners are selling for less than they purchased. 2021, 2023. What makes you think they're selling for sorry about that. What makes you think they're selling for considering there are so many of these? For me, here's the thing. I think that there could be some people underwater. I think there are some people that just need to get out of their homes. I've been seeing a lot of people in situations where they need to sell. For me, straight up, yeah. And, I've gotten a lot of calls probably from you guys too about selling. My first question is, do you have to right now? This isn't a great market to sell a house unless you got a unicorn house. This is a market of like, let's plan Thanksgiving, let's go skiing, flu season. It's just a colder market. I would say right now, it's just a harder market to sell. It really, really is. In fact, the listing agreement or the listing appointments or the calls that we have, usually my first question is, do you have to sell? What does your interest rate look like and everything too? I think a lot of people, and it's not a 100% guarantee, but I think spring is going to be a better time to list your home. I think during wintertime, you have to compete with the weather. And I just think that it's like, based on the demand of the year, it's not going to be great for selling your home. Now, that doesn't mean it's not impossible. But at the same time, I think it's like, it's not as easy. And you're right. There are a lot of listings where owners are selling for less than they purchased. And I'm sure it's frustrating at this point as well, too. We have a listing in Antelope, gorgeous little house. And it should have sold. It is still there, and, for us, we're grateful. The owner also said, hey, look, I'm in no rush. I got no carrying costs and I'm good to go. But at the same time, if you're a listing agent selling a home right now and you don't have aggressive pricing, really super aggressive pricing, it's just not an easy market. So, you'll get transparency on this channel, guys. I won't be one of those realtors calling you at like 5 o'clock in the evening telling you, oh, I could sell your house. It's not a problem. Who wants Thanksgiving anyways? It's just kind of what it is right now. Okay, would you move to Sacramento in 2020? Oh, and hopefully I answered that correctly. And if there's a follow-up, let me know. And I think I did, but like I said, sometimes it gets a little late into the evening and I just want to make sure I answered that correctly for you. Okay, would you move to Sacramento in 2025? Sacramento or Colorado Springs? That's my current dilemma. Okay, for me, if I was in your situation, I would definitely take a trip to both. I'd look at like what I can get for my money. I'd look at schools, I'd look at crime maps, I'd look at everything underneath the sun. And then I would put my wants and my needs in 2 columns. And based on that, I would probably select my area. The other thing too is, this is the hard one, right? For Sacramento specifically, is when you're buying here in Sacramento during this time of the year, you haven't really experienced our summer. Now, I'm not saying it's brutal. In fact, I enjoy summer. But for a lot of people, summertime here in Sacramento, especially if you're coming from a Seattle, if you're coming from like somewhere cooler, it can be very, very like shocking. So just understand that Sacramento does get warm. Is it Arizona warm? No. Is it Palm Springs warm? No, but it does get warm. So I would say one of the things about Sacramento specifically is just understand that during the summer, it does heat up here. And that'd be it. Education part was key. And I don't think you got to make a decision this moment, but crime maps, schools, house styles, like what can you get? What are there things to do? All those things should be. And I would definitely take at least a weekend in each place to kind of vibe it out, see what the people are like as well too. That'd be me. All right. What's the biggest obstacle to buying an affordable home right now? Inflated home prices is number one. Okay. It was already exposed that the Realtor Association is responsible for this, inflating sellers' egos to make them think their houses. Didn't I tell you guys? Listing agents, 5 o'clock in the evening, was worth double or more. Now all those people that are all those people that realtors conned into buying these super inflated priced homes are defaulting. Quite honestly, the group as a whole should be ashamed of themselves. Well, I'll tell you this. I do agree with a little bit of this. I do think that, you need to have a good CMA on properties. You need to figure this out. I don't think anyone can really predict as far as home prices going up, down based on interest rates, demand, supply, politics, and all that stuff. That stuff, you can't really predict. For example, right now, if interest rates drop to like 4%, demand would be absolutely nuts. Everyone would cancel their trips to Cabo and they'd be getting ready to go out there and show some homes. So I think that piece of the puzzle, you just got to throw away, right? But I do think right now, for people coming into this area, you need to work with realtors that educate you first, right? Before even putting an offer in a house, the realtor needs to take their time. You need to go and see the different areas, home prices, home styles. You need to have your realtor go to open houses for you as well too. You just need that type of stuff. A lot of you we've been working with for like the last 3 or 4 months. And it's good. That kind of stuff we really, really like. And I'm talking to a lot of people out there who are probably watching the show. We like this. We like the idea that you feel educated. You feel like that you're in control of the decision. We love the idea of never telling a person you should buy this house or selling you a house. We love the idea of showing you, educating you, and eventually you turn to us and you say, that's the house for me. What offer should we put in? That's what I love. And that's kind of what our team is kind of known for. So if you've ever worked with us, you've never heard anyone on my team look at you and say, oh, this is the house for you. You definitely should get it. We don't work that way. I don't think real estate should be like that. I don't think if you're working with a buyer, I don't think it should be us, a realtor, ever selling you a house, especially your realtor. They should basically educate you, tell you about areas, pros and cons, do good CMAs, market analysis. But at the end of the day, it always should feel like the buyer has enough education information where they can make that decision on their own. It does take time. And I know a lot of people are going to go, oh, the realtor knows the area better than we do. Right, exactly. But I do think a realtor, if they do enough and put in enough time, they can basically give their client enough information where they can make an educated decision. So I think if you go that route, it takes longer. And honestly, we've worked with people for like over a year, finding them the right house and finding them the right area. But at the end of the day, we sleep better. And we, like I said, I often tell people this. I mean, why is my channel get positive comments? Because we take our time, we educate, and we really, really value our clients. We value the relationship we're creating with them. All right. All right, Isaac. Hey, Mark. Thank you for yours and Alana's help with all our new builds in Rancho. My family is loving the house so far. Good. Well, hopefully you guys are enjoying it. I love the Raider icon as well too. That's awesome. And for you, just get ready to watch some like NFL and hang out in your house. And the holiday season is upon us. It's gonna be great. I'm super excited too. And I want to swing by your house actually one more time. It's just Alana had her second kid, and she did that video. So yeah, we appreciate you as well. We appreciate you trusting us, working with us. And honestly, we really do appreciate it. We appreciate every single one of you guys out there who does trust us, works with us, whether it's selling your home or finding you a home. We take all this stuff very, very much to heart. We realize that every transaction is the most important transaction. And we appreciate you guys doing business with us, and we'll continue to always put you guys and the importance of this purchase or the sell in front of everything. So we appreciate it. We appreciate you. All right. Boom. What can you tell us about the Airbnb tax write-off? Ooh, okay. I can't really tell you much about it. Although I will tell you one thing, next week, Corey is going to be here and I'll have him prepped and we'll talk a little Airbnbs just for you. Seriously. We do requests, so we'll get you next week. All right. Boom. Would you move to Sacramento in 2025? Every day long. I'm commuting to San Jose after making the move. The drive is easy and I live in South Bay 3 to 4 days a week. I literally tell everyone how amazing it is in the Sacramento area. It's completely different than what I thought it was like. Exactly. It's way better than Bay Area unless you have at least 6 to 7 million to drop on a house in a great area. The rest of the Bay Area has become slave quarters, barracks with dense housing and millions of people everywhere. I could not have said it better myself. I grew up in Marin, lived in San Francisco for a while, and honestly, anytime I am out of Sacramento and I'm going to the Bay Area and I'm dealing with traffic, I'm dealing with parking, I just cannot wait to get back to Sacramento. Love Sacramento. And this is what I love. I love showing comments like this that aren't just me getting on my soapbox, people that have actually had this kind of experience in Sacramento. Sacramento is an amazing spot. If you haven't checked it out, you live in the Bay and you're considering, maybe other areas to move into, I would say take a weekend, maybe, go up skiing on your way up, reach out to our team and let us show you a little bit about Sacramento. All right, next one. What is the biggest obstacle in buying an affordable home right now? The cost of housing being high, causing property taxes to be high also. Agreed. Plus being able to pay off house earlier if you're able to make extra payments every year. High mortgage payments, hands down. I would say right now, as far as property prices, yeah, it's getting a little high here in Sacramento. I'd say new homes, you can probably get something in the 5s still, which is not bad. But Sacramento is on kind of a growth spurt. I would say probably within the next 3 or 4 years, house prices are probably, if interest rates drop a little bit, house prices are going to go up even higher. And for mortgage payments, hopefully we get a little relief maybe next year in interest rates. But yeah, I feel you. The hardest thing is that so many people bought with like the 2.75s and now we're like, we're almost like double, 2.5 times as much now. We're like, 6.5. It's brutal. And I get it. And a lot of people right now are saying, this is, I don't want to pay this amount every single month for that. And I get it. It's brutal. I would say for anyone in that position and they're saying to themselves, I don't want that interest rates. Understand that right now in the new home area, they're doing some crazy incentives, crazy buy downs. I mean, they could put you in fours. So that would just be my one thought on that. But yeah, I understand both these things I'd say are definitely valid concerns. All right. Sacramento's impact in California housing market. It's not a great idea to buy a house for the amount that these houses are listed at. In this market in Sacramento, California, because insurance most of the time do not always justify the materials of the house deteriorating crazy over time with sorts of things like non-living, Mother Nature, wind, rain breaking, cement, part, and all that stuff. I'll tell you one thing. Here's the thing. I think this is maybe a little far-fetched. I would say that, is this a great time to buy a house? I would say if you're someone who's looking to buy and you're saying to yourself, I'm looking between like now and maybe next spring. I think that if interest rates dip a little bit or even stay the same, spring is notoriously always more demand than the winter season is. I would say if you're someone looking for a house, this could be the time to kind of start looking. I'm not saying you should jump in, time your life, don't time the market. But I've seen some amazing deals happen during the season because sellers that are listing their house or their houses are still on the market are waiting for a good offer and they just want an offer. And in the new home area, you're getting crazy incentives because they want to close out the year strong. So that's kind of what I'd say. All right, guys, if you're enjoying the broadcast, smash that like button. It'd mean a lot to me and that YouTube algorithm. And if you guys can, there's a button down there. It's right next to the like button. It's called the hype button. Hit that as well, too. I'd appreciate it. Okay, what's the biggest obstacle in buying an affordable home right now? Bring down interest rates. I know. Interest rates, I would say, look, home prices are just what they are. And, and that's just kind of the way it is in the Sacramento area. I don't think I'm seeing them dip too far down. Honestly, I think we're going to plateau. Interest rates, I'm hoping interest rates drop a little bit next year because I think our market really does need it. So it's changed its home price forecast. Hey, Mark, love your channel. Love that. We bought a house at the height of interest rates, waiting to refinance. Yeah. And I would say what you could see probably at least for the next 6 months is you could see moments where the market dips a little bit and interest rates drop a little bit. I would say look at the 10-year treasury bond market to kind of give a little bit of insight on that. But yeah, I would say that. Also, what I've noticed too is not after, but before, like when people are anticipating Jerome Powell is going to give good news to drop rates, I see rates dip a little bit and I see a lot of people kind of refinancing. There's no guarantees. I'm not a mortgage professional, but the other thing too is I would say working with a mortgage professional, they can pretty much give you a little bit of an alert when rates are dropping. Now, if you guys are looking for an amazing lender, reach out to me as well too. We work with amazing lenders, some of the best lenders in all the Sacramento area. All right, next one. Boom. What's the biggest obstacle to buying an affordable home right now? There's plenty of housing. That's a myth. It's just ridiculously expensive. Two things we're seeing, guys. Clearly the pain points, home prices and mortgage interest rates. All right. If you're buying your first home in Sacramento, what would matter most? Location, location, location. I would say that is huge. Location, school, family, and just make sure, guys, when you're buying a home, this is one thing I will tell you. If you are buying a new home, make sure you're going to stay in the new home for a while, right? Because there's going to be probably new homes built around it. Certain communities might close out. Yes, that's fine. But if you're buying something like in West Roseville, if you're buying something in Rancho, just realize that the building is going to continue because there's so much land out there. So just be cognizant of that. I say location, location, location is definitely good. And if you don't know Sacramento well, feel free to reach out to our team so we can help you find location, location, location. All right, shameless plug there. All right, what's the biggest obstacle to buying an affordable home right now? High prices. Man, high prices, interest rates. All right. 97K price drop. Very usable floor plan. No real complaints. Nice finishes. Overall, it seemed like a solid deal. This is the last home that Taylor Morrison has in Folsom Ranch right now. This was a former model home. Floor plan is fantastic. The Highland floor plan. If you guys are looking for like something in Folsom, if you're looking for something that is a Taylor Morrison home, this is awesome. Now, why is this so like, how can I say, why is this such a good deal? Not only the price point. Here's the thing though. Right now in Folsom, it's hard to find that kind of a Taylor Morrison kind of build. If you go to Toll Brothers, you're gonna be probably paying over $1 million. You got Active Community Regency by Toll Brothers that you need to be 55 or older. KB Esquire, they're selling, it's okay. And for the most part, then you got what's called Shawwood, which is, I mean, what, over like 1.7 or something at this point. So there's not a lot of builders building in that sweet spot of like 4 bedrooms, 3.5 baths. There's just not a lot of them. And Taylor already bought some additional land in Folsom Ranch, but they probably won't open that thing up till maybe end of next year. So just keep in mind, if you're looking for something in Folsom, you want something, you know, really, really nice, and you're looking for something Taylorish, Taylor Morrison-ish, this could be a deal for you. All right, let's go to this one. Boom. Hello, Ginger. Is it better to buy a resale home in Rockland or a new build in Roseville when it's the same price point? Ooh, okay, that's tough. One thing for sure, Roseville Electric, Rockland is PG&E. So we're talking about half the price for PG&E, or half the price for Roseville Electric in comparison to PG&E. That's one thing to consider. Rockland is on one school district, where Roseville, especially West Roseville, is between Center and Roseville Unified. So I'd look at that stuff as well too. Now, as far as resale, if a house has been on the market, like for example, if you're looking at homes, they've been on the market for like, you know, and you know, you're not looking for the unicorn home, but you're looking for something that, you know, you're saying, I just want like a 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath in Roseville. It could be, honestly, like if stuff that you're looking at and you're seeing has been on the market for like 3 weeks, like, and you're seeing a bunch of them, resale could be great for you. The hardest part about Roseville is that unless you really, really love that West Roseville area and that's where you want to be, you don't see a lot of stuff in like East Roseville and Center Roseville. And it's a little bit harder of a grab, right? So if you're looking for West Roseville, you can probably get some good deals and everything too. Let me see this. In Rockland, Rockland's a tough one. You know, like I said, for me, sorry, stop this like I said stuff. West Roseville, you can get a great bang for your buck up there if you're looking for new homes. You can get great incentives. Every builder underneath the sun is there. Pulte, D.R. Horton. I mean, they've got like at least 10 different builders. So you're going to get yourself probably a great deal and a great floor plan. We've moved in a lot of people to West Roseville and absolutely love it. As far as Rockland resale, Rockland, if you're looking for resale and you're looking to have it price-wise compare against West Roseville, you're going to be looking for something that's probably a little bit more dated. You're not going to have that warm and fuzzy that you're going to find with like the West Roseville homes. Now, I would say look at the schools. Like I said, a lot of that tends to be deal breakers. A lot of people love Rockland schools, you know, but again, Roseville schools too. I mean, I'd see both, you know, to see which one you like the best. But for me, this time of the year, if I'm looking at Rockland, I'm looking at resale, I'm looking to see how long the houses that I like sit on the market. That's going to be a big telltale sign. Because if you're going into Rockland and you see a house that you love and it flies, that means it's one of those unicorn homes and it's going to be competitive. That means you're not going to be able to get a buy down. You're not going to be able to like, you know, go under list or anything too. It's just, it could be a little bit more competitive. In West Roseville, you're not going to have that much competition. You're going to see a lot of like quick move-ins. You're going to get great incentives and everything too. So if it was me, unless I was just in love with Rockland, unless I was in love with the idea of maybe, you know, not getting something that's as warm and fuzzy as you're going to find in West Roseville, like Pulte, Woodside, Richmond American, you know, I would say West Roseville would probably be the best bet. I think you'll probably get something a lot more affordable. You'd be in Roseville Electric. Those would be the pros. Again, though, I still love Rockland too. Rockland is really, really nice. It's just you're going to find less inventory. And if you are picky and you see those houses flying that you like quick within like maybe the first week, it's going to be super competitive still in Rockland. And think about that. If it's super competitive, November, December, January, February, I think what it's going to be like in spring as well too. So it's just a little bit more competitive market for the resale stuff over there. Hopefully that helped. All right, boom. Do Davis area. I feel like we get skipped in housing conversation. Okay, I'm going to be doing Davis. I'm going to be bringing on someone from Davis as well too. So we're going to be talking a little bit about Davis. So it'll be fun because I like Davis. We sell and we we work with buyers and we sell homes in Davis as well too. So Davis is a fun one. It's a very interesting market. You got a lot of doctors, a lot of people love the schools out there as well too. It's a cute area, you know, you'd never think it, but it is one of the more desirable kind of areas. People just love Davis. So we'll do a whole segment about Davis. Boom. All right. Which state wins, California or Texas? Guys, 76, not even close. All right. Best county, Placer or Sacramento? Oh, this is so tough. Again, for me, it always comes down to just kind of like stats about like, you know, like Placer for the most part, you're on PG&E for electric, except for Roseville. Sacramento, you're Sacramento County, you're on SMUD. Other than that, I would say check out both. Placer is beautiful. Sacramento County is beautiful. Tough one. All right. Would you move to Sacramento in 2025? Yes. No. 103 votes. All right. Personally, I would move to Sacramento in a heartbeat, but I would do it when my life and the timing was right. I don't think right now there's a huge push interest rate wise, inventory wise, or anything too. So time your life, don't time the market. All right. What's the biggest obstacle here? Hang on. Let me check something real quick. Okay. What is the biggest obstacle to buying an affordable home right now? High interest rates, limited inventory, rising insurance costs. Yep. High interest rates. And I would probably say also something I didn't put on this and I probably should have, prices as well too. I just don't think the prices are going to be going anywhere anytime soon. All right. If you're buying your first home in Sacramento, where would you, what would matter most? Commute time, school district, newer homes, school district. Okay. One of the things, guys, for you guys, schools are very subjective. A lot of people, as far as school wise, it's very important. If it was me and I was looking at a place, I would go to greatschools.org. I would type in the address of the home that I'm looking for. Okay. Type in the address, see what the schools are like. Then I would actually go to some of the events happening at the schools. Greatschools.org, it's a great resource, right? But it's just one resource. I would also say going to schools and vibing out the community, the events, and the people at the school as well too is just as important. That's how I would do it. And that's kind of how we decided on Gold River and for our daughter. So that would be me. All right. That is the last one. I think we're going to have an early show tonight, guys. And Ginger, hopefully I answered that question correct for you. It was a little tougher one. And if you want to, here is my phone number as well too. Feel free to give me a call and we can discuss this a little bit about like Rockland versus West Roseville, Rockland resale versus West Roseville new homes. It's a tough one. I think, like I said, I think both areas are great. I think West Roseville just needs to be developed. But I mean, you know, in West Roseville, you have that Amazon store right now, Costco coming in, you got Placer Parkway, you got all this stuff happening there, all the Melrose. That area is gonna be great. You got a surf park coming out in West Roseville as well too. Then Rockland, you got some amazing stuff. You got Whitney Oaks, Whitney Ranch, you got all that stuff happening as well too. It's a tough one. So feel free to give me a call and we can talk a little bit about Rockland versus Roseville, the showdown. Now, hopefully you guys enjoyed the show this evening. We're going to keep it a little short because you guys don't have any more questions. I really appreciate you guys tuning in as well too. Good weather, bad weather, good market, bad market. We're transparent on this channel. We do this live. This isn't one of those things where it's pre-recorded. There's no cuts. There's no this. There's no that. It's just me talking real estate, answering your questions, talking a little bit about the market, how it's doing. And I really appreciate you guys spending the evening with me. You know, this is fun and it gives you a little bit of a forum to kind of like also voice your concerns, voice your opinions, tell people exactly what this is all about, your experience moving to Sacramento, your experience working with our team as well too. All this stuff is very welcome on this channel. All right. Brandon, there have been some good resale homes sitting on the market in East Roseville. 850 range though. Must be overpriced. You know, here's the thing. East Roseville, super competitive. East Roseville, super like, I mean, people love East Roseville because it butts up to Grant Bay. So if it is 850, I might be thinking to myself, it could be overpriced because normally in East Roseville, those things fly. I mean, honestly, East Roseville is probably just as competitive as Folsom. If things get listed there, priced right, things fly. Even fixtures fly there too. So like I said, people love the idea that it's butted up right next to Grant Bay as well too. Not too far from the mall. Yeah, I would say probably pricing. But every area is different. Now, I'm out for the night. Really appreciate you guys tuning in. Hopefully you guys have a good one. I will be dropping a video on Friday at 7 p.m. It's going to be another deal that I've been seeing in the market that's awesome. The house that I'm going to be dropping on Friday at 7 p.m. has actually over a 50-foot backyard. It's pretty amazing. So tune in for that video. And then I'll be tuning in, or I'll be back here next Wednesday at 7 p.m. for our next live. And like I said, I have no life. So I appreciate you guys tuning in and all that stuff. All right, foreclosures are finally starting to tick up in our region. Still slow, but increasing. Ooh, video guy Matt, I missed you all. This is your only comment tonight. I will see if I can bring some foreclosure and stuff. I'll bring some stats to next week's live, and I'm either gonna have what's called Matt the Mortgage Guy or Corey on the show as well too, and we're gonna dive deep into some of the statistics in Sacramento. It's a crazy one. You know, the market is slow. It's colder. Things though, priced right, aggressively do move. And if you're thinking about selling your home, you got to ask yourself, do I really have to at this point in time? If you're going with a listing agent and they're kind of like telling you, I can do it. Tell them you'll give them a 3-month listing agreement. Give them the cold months. See how they do. All right, guys, this is Mark. Have a good one. I'll see you next video. Okay, guys, hopefully you enjoyed the show tonight. Buying and selling is stressful. I mean, there are definitely different avenues you can go in, and there's no guarantee. Every property is different, whether you're looking to buy it or sell it. So reach out to our team and we can talk to you a little bit about the pros and cons of selling currently, what your house is valued at, and all that stuff too. There's a link below to schedule a call. Now, if you're thinking about moving to the area, guys, reach out to our team as well. We're working with a lot of people relocating them to the Sacramento area. We absolutely love it. There's a Zoom link below. Set up a time where we can talk to you a little bit about what your needs are. Now, if you enjoyed this live broadcast, smash that like button. We would love to talk to you a little bit about Sacramento. I mean, we always are out and about. So if you're looking at places like El Dorado, Roseville, Rockland, Davis, we got you covered. Just reach out to us. And maybe you don't want to do a Zoom call, so just hit me at my phone number on the banner and we can talk a little Sacramento. Now, guys, one last thing before I go. There's a playlist right over there of other videos I've done about the Sacramento area. Knowledge is power. Those videos will help you kind of make a decision if Sacramento is that spot for you and you want to take it to the next stage. All right, guys, this is Mark. Have a good one. Hopefully you enjoyed the show. Remember, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next video.